All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into, well, the heart of the Las Vegas Strip, I guess you could say.
Sounds exciting.
The Luxor, Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, the pyramid.
Yeah. We got a YouTube video review of a recent stay at the Luxor, and honestly, it's a fascinating look at how this, iconic resort has changed over the years.
Yeah, I mean, you think of Vegas, you think of the Luxor, it's such a recognizable landmark.
It really is. So we're going to kind of dissect this review,
Mm.
look at the good, the bad, and try to figure out if the Luxor still has that same magic it had when it first opened, back in the day.
Yeah, because, I mean, the reviewer's question is really interesting. Like, how did this place go from being the beacon of lights to a place people might regret staying at?
Yeah, it's a big shift. So let's go back to the beginning. The Luxor first opened its doors in 1993. It was a huge project, like $400 million from Circus Enterprises.
Wow, that's a statement right there.
Right. They wanted to create a destination, not just a hotel.
It's like they were trying to build a whole experience, almost like a theme park within a hotel.
Exactly. They talked about Disney-level theming, rides, attractions, the whole shebang.
And they totally went all in on the Egyptian theme, obviously. I mean, it's a 357-foot-tall pyramid, for crying out loud.
It's wild when you think about it. The reviewer said it's the 12th largest man-made pyramid in the world.
I mean, that just blows my mind.
In the 90s, the Luxor was like the place to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
Everyone was excited about it. It was a spectacle.
Oh, totally.
But the reviewer's experience kind of paints a different picture now.
Oh, how so?
So right off the bat, when he arrives, he sees this massive Doritos ad plastered on the side of the pyramid.
Wait, what? A Doritos ad on the Luxor pyramid?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange first impression.
It's a little bit jarring, yeah. You'd think they'd want to preserve that whole grand image,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's getting to the room. He was staying on the 29th floor, so pretty high up.
So almost at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, and to get there, you have to ride these things called inclinators.
Inclinators? What are those?
Basically, they're slanted elevators that go up the side of the pyramid.
Oh, wow. That's got to be a unique experience.
You'd think so. But the reviewer said they were pretty unsettling. They rattled and vibrated a lot.
Oh, no.
Not exactly a smooth ride. He even mentioned that they seemed kind of run down.
Mm.
So he finally gets to his room, which is a Pyramid Elite Suite.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, the first thing he noticed was the size. It was huge.
I guess you get a lot of space with those sloping walls.
Yeah, but like he pointed out, not all of it's usable space. But the suite did have a guest bathroom, a wet bar with a gold and black sink.
Gold and black. Huh. Interesting choice.
There was wine fridge, too. And the living room was really spacious with a high-top dining set and a big L-shaped couch.
And it's pretty comfy.
The bedroom had a king-size bed. The linens were decent, but the mattress was hard and the TV barely worked.
Oh, no, not a working TV. That's a bummer.
Yeah, and then the bathroom was huge, full tub, 2 sinks, stand-up shower, and separate toilet room.
No kidding.
But here's the thing. He said there was barely any Egyptian theming in the suite at all.
Really? That's surprising. You'd expect a little more in a place like the Luxor.
I know, right? Especially in a suite called the Pyramid Elite Suite. It felt more like a generic hotel room, he said.
That's a shame.
The only real nod to the theme was the faucets, which were shaped like genie lamps.
Well, that's something, I guess.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the lack of theming wasn't the only issue.
What else was wrong?
He had some serious problems with the condition of the room and the cleanliness.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah, he said the whole place felt really worn down. Marks and scuffs on the walls and trim, and the fixtures were all kind of beat up.
That doesn't sound great.
And the cleanliness was even worse. The AC units were filthy, and the one in the living room wasn't even working.
So it was just blowing hot air.
Yeah, basically. And he found stains on the living room couch.
Yeah.
Even under a black light.
Oh, that's really bad. Like it hadn't been properly cleaned in who knows how long.
Right. And get this, he found rotting wood under the wine fridge.
What? Rotting wood? That's a serious problem.
Yeah, it's like they weren't even trying to maintain the place. And the final straw was the cigarette smoke.
Cigarette smoke? I thought hotels weren't allowed to have smoking rooms anymore.
It was supposed to be a non-smoking room, but it reeked of smoke.
No, that's awful.
Even the towels smelled like smoke.
Ugh, that's just gross.
And then there's the view.
Oh, Rhett, he was staying pretty high up. What was the view like?
Well, even though he was near the top of the pyramid, his window was mostly blocked by this giant MGM bet scrim.
A scrim? What's that?
It's like a big advertising banner.
Are you serious? They blocked the view with an ad.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? He said it made the room really dark, and it was hard to even tell if it was day or night.
Oh man, that's such a shame. I bet the view from up there could have been amazing.
He said you could have seen the mountains in the distance if it wasn't for the scrim.
That's such a wasted opportunity.
Totally. So let's talk about the different room types and the pricing. Inside the pyramid itself, they have different categories.
Okay.
You've got your standard rooms, then they go up to premier rooms, jacuzzi rooms, corner rooms, and then the top tier is the elite suite where he stayed.
So there's a good range of options within the pyramid.
Yeah, and they also have those towers next to the pyramid with more typical hotel rooms and suites.
Oh, right, those towers.
Yeah, and the pricing varies quite a bit. You can find rooms starting as low as $25.
$25. That's crazy cheap for Vegas.
Yeah, but there's a catch. They have a $37 daily resort fee.
Ah, so it ends up being over $60 even for the cheapest room.
Exactly. And the suite he stayed in was $164, which isn't bad for a suite, but it was off-season.
Okay. So you do get what you pay for, I guess.
It seems that way. The reviewer compared the Luxor to other hotels in a similar price range, like the Flamingo and the LINQ.
Oh, yeah, those are both pretty popular.
He thought those might be better options overall, better location, maybe nicer rooms.
And he said if you're willing to spend a little more, like over $120, there are tons of better hotels in Vegas.
Yeah, he specifically mentioned the Virgin Hotel, the Hilton at Resorts World, and Park MGM.
Okay, so let's get into the rest of the hotel. What about the public spaces and amenities?
So he starts by talking about the atrium. It's huge, and you can look down on it from the upper floors.
Oh, I bet that's cool.
He described the theming as themless theming, which is kind of funny.
Themless theming? What does that even mean?
Basically, it's like they threw a bunch of different things together and hoped for the best.
Oh, okay.
He said there's this Egyptian-style village, but then there's also the Chrysler Building.
The Chrysler Building. What's that doing in an Egyptian village?
Apparently, it's been there since the original design.
That's so bizarre.
On the ground floor, you have the big statues and fountains leading to the casino.
The casino.
He said it was pretty standard for an MGM casino.
Okay.
Kind of smoky and dimly lit.
Mm-hmm.
Not much to write home about.
Fair enough.
There were a few restaurants around the casino and then some other things kind of randomly placed, like there are two Starbucks right next to each other.
Two Starbucks. Why would they need two Starbucks right there?
No idea. And then the buffet is tucked away in the basement.
That seems odd.
Yeah. He said the whole layout was kind of strange. The open areas felt really claustrophobic, even though they're wide open.
How is that even possible?
I think it's because the ceilings are so low, and then you have these massive statues everywhere.
Oh, I see. It's like they didn't really think about the flow of this space.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very well designed.
Mm.
Then if you go up to the second level, that's where the entertainment is.
Oh, right. Like the shows and stuff?
Yeah, they have Carrot Top Fantasy, Blue Man Group, and an America's Got Talent themed show.
Sounds like a typical Vegas lineup.
Pretty much. But he also mentioned the exhibits, which are kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah. What kind of exhibits?
Well, they have one about King Tut with replica artifacts.
Okay.
And then there's Bodies, which is like a visual exhibition of the human body.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
But the one that really stood out was the Titanic artifact exhibition.
Oh, wow. They have Titanic artifacts.
Yeah, they have the big piece, which is apparently a really significant part of the ship's hull.
I bet that's incredible to see in person.
He said it was, but he also had some issues with how it was presented.
Oh, what do you mean?
He felt like the whole exhibit was kind of insensitive, considering the tragedy of the Titanic.
Oh, I could see that.
Like you have this solemn historical exhibit inside a giant pyramid that's also covered in ads.
Yeah, that's a weird juxtaposition.
And there's a casino downstairs and shows like fantasy happening right across the hallway.
It's like they're not taking it seriously.
Exactly. He also mentioned the acting in the exhibit was terrible and the videos were poorly made.
Oh, no.
And then they had these really tacky photo ops and even inappropriate merchandise.
Like what?
Like Titanic snow globes, and you could get your picture taken on a replica of the Olympic staircase.
Wait, but the Olympic was a different ship?
Yeah, it just felt really out of place and disrespectful.
Yeah, I can see how that would rub people the wrong way.
So besides the exhibits, there are a few other things at the Luxor. They have a spa that gets good reviews,
Okay.
and the prices are apparently pretty reasonable. The pool deck is big, but nothing special.
So just kind of average.
Yeah, and they have a tram that connects to Mandalay Bay and Excalibur,
Oh, that's convenient.
but it wasn't working properly when he was there.
Seriously?
Yeah, only one side of the tram was running.
So he couldn't even use it to get around?
Not to all the stops. The Luxor stop was down.
Oh, man, that's frustrating.
But it's connected to Mandalay Bay by a walkway, so he could at least get there.
Okay, that's good.
He said the shops at Mandalay Bay were nicer than the ones at the Luxor,
Hmm. Interesting.
but then the walkway to Excalibur was in bad shape, and the shops there were pretty tacky.
So it's like a mixed bag with these connected resorts.
Totally. So let's talk about how the theming has changed over the years. It's definitely not what it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around for over 30 years. Things change.
When it first opened, the Luxor had a boat ride inside and a simulator ride that was supposed to be really immersive.
Oh, wow, that sounds cool.
The boat ride closed down after just 3 years, and the simulator shut down in 2004.
So they kind of abandoned those more elaborate attractions.
Yeah, and there were plans to expand the Luxor with an Egyptian village and an outdoor river ride,
That would have been amazing.
but it never happened. Instead, they built those two black glass towers.
The ones that kind of clash with the pyramid.
Exactly. They even got rid of the outdoor water fountain show and replaced it with a parking lot.
Oh, come on, that's so lame. They really stripped away a lot of the original charm.
Yeah, it seems like they've prioritized practicality and making money over maintaining that immersive experience.
So what's the final verdict? Is the Luxor worth staying at?
Well, the reviewer paid $164 for his suite, which he said was decent value for the size, but it reflected the quality,
So you get what you pay for.
pretty much. He acknowledged that the low prices, especially during the off-season, are tempting,
Yeah, I can see that.
but he stressed that you have to consider the whole picture. The service, the food,
Mm.
the potential extra costs, and even things like cleanliness.
Yeah, you don't want to get sick on your vacation.
Right. He ultimately decided he wouldn't stay there again. He said there are better options even for a similar price.
So what was his final score?
He gave the Luxor a 22 out of 50.
Ouch. That's pretty rough.
It was the lowest score he's ever given a hotel. He said it was possibly the weirdest stay he's ever had.
Wow. So not a glowing review.
Not at all. But he did say it was an interesting stay.
Interesting in a bad way.
Kind of, yeah. But he also mentioned that he was staying there before checking out the reopened Fontainebleau.
Oh, so he was using the Luxor as a base to explore other things.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So what's the takeaway here for our listeners?
I think the big thing is to remember that you often get what you pay for. Low prices can be tempting, but they often come with compromises.
Yeah, and sometimes it's worth spending a little more to get a better overall experience.
Definitely. And the Luxor story is a good reminder that even the most iconic themed resorts can lose their way over time.
It makes you wonder about the future of themed resorts in Vegas. Can they really stay true to their original vision, or will they always end up prioritizing profits over everything else?
Yeah, it's a tough balance.
Yeah.
So for our listeners out there, what do you value most when you travel? Is it all about the cheapest price, or are you willing to pay more for a better quality experience? What matters most to you when you're planning a trip?